Oh scheisse, it's the Ogre Kingdoms. They've got a trailer. If you haven't seen it already, link at the top of the description. Go and watch it before I ruin it for you. But this does cement them as the pre-order race for Warhammer 3, and at the end of the trailer, if you watched it and missed it, you'll see the release date of February 17th, 2023. Only joking, 2022 of course. So that's awesome, we finally have a release date and it's not too far away, 3 or 4 months, and we'll be laughing. As for the trailer itself, it doesn't reveal a lot about the Ogre Kingdoms, but it does come with a damn awesome song, which I have been singing for about 3 days now. So it's worth a watch just for that alone. Another thing you may have noticed if you watched the trailer before this is that there is a Game Pass logo at the end of the trailer, which we will see in a second, which means Total War Warhammer 3 is coming to Game Pass, which could mean a lot more new players, which is great for me, the maker of guide videos, but also great for all of us because the game will just get bigger, hopefully, and get more players all round. And we just saw Greasus Goldtooth there, one of our legendary lords for the Ogre Kingdoms. He looks like a lovely, lovely, pleasant chap. And the other legendary lord, as there are going to be 2 for the Ogre Kingdoms, is Scrag the Slaughterer. There is a blog accompanying this, released at the same time, so you can find out a little bit more on there. But there are some screenshots which we will have a quick look at, because this does tell us a little bit more about what's coming. This first screenshot here, Ogre Kingdoms taking on some Khorne boys. But most of the ogres we can see here kind of look like the ones we have in Warhammer 2 already, so hard to distinguish different units and things like that. But one boy who does stand out is this fella up the front. He looks a bit fiery, he's got a mask on. I'm thinking Firebelly. And of course we can't ignore the elephant or Stonehorn in the room, because there is a big old Stonehorn with a dude on top. Looks like he might be holding some kind of javelin, because I don't think he's going to be able to reach anything from up there with that tiny little spear, so he must be planning to throw it. So it could be a ranged option there. And then we also have a good old classic giant, as we have in the Greenskins or the Chaos or whoever else. And that is most of the exciting stuff we can see in this image at least. We get to see a couple of the units. We got some large boys. That Firebelly should be pretty cool as well. Maybe a fire caster with perhaps some fiery abilities too. Onto our next image, we can see big boy Greasus Goldtooth, the Ogre Kingdoms leader, if I'm not mistaken. And Greasus himself has a bit of a Grom vibe, mostly being the chunky boy and also being on a mobility scooter. So he's going to be somewhat mobile at getting around. How fast he is, though, we'll have to see. I doubt he's going to be as fast as old Grom, because he doesn't seem to have anything pulling him. So he might be more of a Thorgrim vibe, where he's actually a lot slower. We can also notice on the right here, the two-handed weapon ogre, who also looks fairly armored, as he does have a bit of a helmet on, so maybe some more heavily armored elite infantry there. Lots of armor-piercing damage, perhaps, from that two-handed weapon. Maybe even anti-large, who knows? And if we move over to this side of the image, we can notice a little Nobbler down there up front. So there's going to be Nobblers, the little goblins, for the Ogre Kingdoms, as we would have expected. We can also see an ogre with a cannon over his shoulder, so some kind of ranged unit there, which is probably going to be quite hard-hitting, because, you know, it's a cannon. So that could be the Lead Belchers, perhaps, which is a unit from the tabletop, so that seems likely. And that seems to be it from this image, other than the giants in the background, but we already knew about them. On to the next image with Scrag the Slaughterer, our other legendary lord. You can see the big boy up front. Seems like he's pulling some kind of cauldron with a Nobbler on top. And as he is a butcher, I believe that means he is a caster as well. So going to have that, I imagine, ogre magic, whatever that may be. Maybe that cauldron comes into play there. We can also see the masked fellow with the fiery hammer on the right. So again, Firebelly, I reckon. We see a bunch of giants here as well. And that seems to be it for these images in terms of the units that we can see for the Ogre Kingdoms. Some cool looking stuff. I am excited for the Ogre Kingdoms. We do have this image as well, which is of an Ogre Kingdoms settlement of some kind, I will assume. Looks like it's a minor settlement. Doesn't seem to be any walls around. But that seems to be it for the knowledge we have of the Ogre Kingdoms at the moment. I'm sure more will be revealed in the coming weeks, so exciting stuff, lots to look forward to. One other thing that is noted in the blog that came alongside the Ogre Kingdoms trailer is a couple of limited edition versions of the game, but in showing us this, they also show us the campaign map for the first time, which is incredibly exciting in its own right. Far more exciting than the limited edition anyway. So what can we see looking at this somewhat small and slightly covered campaign map? Well, if we look down in the bottom left corner, first of all, you'll notice a bunch of areas that we already have in Warhammer 2. Nordland, Midland, the Empire areas. Basically, they've all been squished down into a much smaller area in this bottom left corner of the map, which means that we can probably assume that the Kislev kind of area is behind this image. So this kind of area here is all Kislev, as it is in Warhammer 2. If you know any more about the campaign map, any of you Warhammer Fantasy lore nerds, you probably know way more than I do, so by all means, fill in anything I miss or correct anything I get wrong. But up in the top right, we can see the Imperial Road, which is Cathay area. So we know that Cathay could start up in this corner. In the Zinch blog, it also said something about Kairos starting up in this area too, so he's around here somewhere as well. We also see the Mountains of Morn, so this is going to be where the Ogre Kingdoms start, probably, or at least some of them. Maybe Greasus will start there, and maybe Scrag is somewhere else. We can see the Road of Skulls here. This was in the Dark Elf territory of Warhammer 2, so maybe this could be a Slanesh area. Not really sure about this top left area so much, but we can see in the middle at the top all the realms of the Chaos Gods. The Dark Prince's realm, the land of the Plague Lord, the realm of the Sorcerer, and the Blood God's domain. So looks like we're going to be traveling to those from wherever we start in the campaign map to do something. I don't know. The Dark Prince's realm looks especially weird. Kind of looks like it might be a pyramid or something. Kind of circular. It's probably a nipple, isn't it? Probably a goddamn nipple with that Slanesh guy. But who knows what they mean, whether we're actually going to go there and try to take them over. Will they have settlements that we can take, or will they have trials that we have to go through, the survival battles? We know that they're a thing, so we're probably going to have one of those to do in each of the 4 realms. That's all I got, I think, on this campaign map. I'm not sure about the top left corner. I'm not sure about the bottom right corner. That might be for people who have more knowledge on the Warhammer map than I. So by all means, drop it in the comments if you know anything. I'm not quite sure where to guess where Khorne or Nurgle factions might be. Maybe that top left, maybe that bottom right. Of course, there's the Norscan kind of areas above the Empire areas, so maybe Khorne could be around there. I don't know. But there we have it. The Ogre Kingdoms are coming to Warhammer 3. That's our 7 races that we're going to have to play with. Lots of new stuff. It's going to be really exciting. I am ready. My body, my mind, and my beard are all ready to go. Let's finish on a song, shall we? All together now.
In our ears, but the more we race, the sound of its tone. We'll thunder and feast on any man, any beast. Doesn't matter, we'll snack on them all. The stragglers we didn't consume are dropped in our sacrifice too. They scream and they run, but that's part of the fun, 'cause the ogres are coming to get ya! Jumping on this, feeling our backs, we are swallowing trees, tearing, chewing, we kill all the more, the power and wrath what we're going for, crunching and biting, we